And then my two mates in the main event, Ilya versus Justin. Ilya did say he was going to come back around this time, so June, perfect for him. And obviously Justin Gagey said himself when he was fighting me, he wants to beat me and then go on fight on the White House. And he's done it, you know what I mean? That's off to him. He said he was going to do that. That's a scrap, you know what I mean? They're going to come out and they're going to try and take each other's heads off. But everyone's already counting Gagey out, and we've already learned you can't do that. I don't know, I've got a sneaky suspicion that Gagey might pull off an upset here and surprise everyone. As you know, it's a fight. It's a fist fight. It can go either way. Anyone could beat anyone. In the White House, he's probably going to have a little bit more motivation to go out there and win because it's in front of his presidents in his home country. We'll have to see how that one plays out because obviously it's big implications for the rest of the division. I'm obviously going to be watching that. I'll have my eye on that, but I'm going to be focused on whoever I get to fight next, and hopefully I'm going to find out the next few weeks when my next fight will be. And hopefully it's around that time. Hopefully it's around June, July.
When Max Holloway has broken his silence after losing the BMF title at UFC 326 last weekend. Following consecutive BMF title fight wins, Holloway suffered a decisive defeat to Charles Oliveira, who dominated with relentless Brazilian jiu-jitsu and constant grappling pressure. In his first statement since the fight, Holloway admitted he still has work ahead to reach his objectives. He expressed, "The highest of highs and the lowest of lows. Saturday night was not my night. Sorry to all my family, friends, and fans that I have let down. Shout out to Oliveira for doing his thing, all class so nothing but love to him. No excuses from this side and there never will be. I've been here before. I know the work I need to do to get back to where I want to be. We are far from done. See you guys at the top." Meanwhile, Paddy Pimblett has made a bold forecast for the upcoming showdown between Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje. In a recent YouTube appearance, Pimblett shared his analysis of the matchup, indicating that Gaethje might shock everyone and overcome Topuria. He emphasized that this bout represents Gaethje's last chance to claim UFC gold, potentially making the seasoned fighter extremely dangerous and driven entering the contest.
Former champion.
I'd love to fight Charles though. Everyone goes on about his grappling. Everyone thinks it's levels above man, and I know it isn't. If I fought Charles, we'd probably end up having a war on the feet. Charles' resume is heavy, like.
While discussing his own career trajectory, Pimblett also identified Charles Oliveira as a dream opponent for his next outing, claiming his grappling skills surpass those of the former champion.
The whole fighter pay thing, it's like everyone wants to make more money when they do whatever they're doing. You know, I have a good relationship with the UFC, and I'm happy. I'm honored that they, you know, asked me to be on the White House card. It's going to be huge for me. It's going to go out there. Yeah, I'm going to make some money, whatever. But I'm going to go out there and build the Sugar brand. I want to go out there and put on a beautiful performance, knock people out, have people remember me. And, you know, hopefully that flows into making more money outside the UFC and different kinds of brands deals or doing well, you know, continues to grow. And, you know, you don't want to make enemies with the UFC. I don't understand how I don't get what people are doing. And I saw the Tom Aspinall signed with the Hearn dude. Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't really know if that's a great idea either. You're gonna have someone manage you that the Dana doesn't really like or something. That doesn't seem very smart. But I'm fucking, you know, I'm not that smart. But I just, you know, that's how I see it.
Sean O'Malley questions Tom Aspinall's decision to partner with Eddie Hearn. For context, the UFC Heavyweight champion recently became the first client of Hearn's Matrium talent agency. During an appearance on the Ariel Helwani show, O'Malley cautioned that aligning with Hearn, who is currently in conflict with Dana White, may be unwise and could damage Aspinall's standing with the UFC.
Hey guys, rumors are true. I'm joining the Rusev-Carano MMA fight on Netflix. I'll be entering the cage against to fight Flip Lins from Brazil. MVP is the promoter, so who knows? Maybe this means I'm one step closer of knocking out Jake Paul too. But first thing first, catch me on Saturday, May 16 on Rusev-Carano. Live only on Netflix.
Ronda Rousey is praising Most Valuable Promotions after they secured Francis Ngannou as the co-main event for her MMA comeback while simultaneously attacking her former UFC bosses. Since MVP announced the Ngannou vs. Philippe Lin's bout on Netflix for May 16th, the former UFC women's bantamweight queen has continuously targeted the organization that enshrined her in their Hall of Fame in 2018. Her newest criticism arrived after MVP landed Ngannou just days following his PFL release, while the UFC finally revealed their White House card to mixed fan reception. Posting on X, Ronda declared, Ngannou vs. Lins joins Rousey vs. Carano on Netflix May 16th. How's that for a stacked doubleheader? That's what happens when you put fighters and fans ahead of shareholders at most valuable promotions. P.S. UFC's White House card sucks. This week, Arman Tsarukyan is preparing to battle former UFC flyweight contender Mohamed Mokaev in a high-profile grappling encounter on Brazilian territory. Mokaev will jump nearly 2 weight classes to challenge the UFC lightweight prospect on March 11th. Initially, Arman was booked against his nemesis, former Ohio wrestling champion Giga Chikadze, but negotiations collapsed shortly after the reveal. The newly appointed Hype FC leader has now explained the situation. Speaking with Red Corner MMA, the Hype FC CEO disclosed that Chikadze received an enormous $2.6 million offer spanning 7 contests, a deal that would have established him as wrestling's highest earner, yet he rejected the proposal.
Я до последнего, честно говоря, думал, что я смогу организовать с Пулосом схватку. Мое последнее предложение ему было $2,6 миллиона за 7 схваток. То есть я думаю, что это был самый большой в целом в истории борьбы контракт какой-то. И он, видимо, не поверил, что мы реально можем заплатить эти деньги. Он мне, грубо говоря, так и сказал, что я не верю, что вы мне столько дадите и так далее. Это суммы большие. И просто выложил анонс с Рафом Лигой. Ну, справедливости ради, эта схватка у них зародилась, как бы это противостояние. Да, мы хотели на волне хайпа побыстрее ее сделать, но не прям обидно. И мы начали в ускоренном формате искать новую замену ему. И я обзвонил, наверное, весь ростер UFC. Дело в том, что сейчас, в данный момент, у UFC после нашего турнира в Армении чуть поменялась политика, и они теперь не всем, действующим бойцам между собой разрешают выступать на хайп-файтинге.
Jorge Masvidal predicts a bout with Ilia Topuria might spell the finish for Justin Gaethje. On his latest Death Row in the May podcast episode, Masvidal, who has previously trained alongside Topuria, forecasted that Gaethje could endure such devastating punishment that retirement might follow immediately after the encounter.
Gaethje didn't look bad in the fight, but he also didn't look phenomenal. I think Ilia does Gaethje even worse, you know?
And dude, honestly, that's fucking scary.
He doesn't.
I don't think
he doesn't. They're in another level.
Yeah,
I've trained with Ilia plenty since like his first UFC fight. I was calling him back then. This guy's gonna be champ. I'm telling you, he's gonna beat the fucking brakes. He retires Homer Simpson that day on the fucking cake. He'll never come back into fighting that dude.
Fuck. I mean,
Homer Simpson's gonna fucking. He's not walking that out when alive.
That wraps up another fight breakdown. Masvidal also addressed Chael Sonnen's recent comments about his pullout from their scheduled grappling bout, originally set for March 11th at the Hype FC event in Brazil. He posted, "You better keep that one eye on the prize, and when I talk, I back it up. I don't fight for the hype. Make sure the money is right." Conor McGregor maintains his preparation for his competitive comeback in fresh footage posted across social platforms. McGregor demonstrates boxing rounds and refines his wrestling technique during his current training camp. Tom Aspinall has unexpectedly defended Jon Jones. Jones will be absent from the UFC White House card after talks allegedly collapsed, with the former champion reportedly demanding $30 million for the fight, an amount the UFC refused to provide. Speaking with Ariel Helwani, Aspinall, whose own career was delayed nearly 12 months while awaiting a possible Jones matchup, supported the veteran champion. Aspinall called it ridiculous that the promotion won't meet Jones' financial demands, describing it as disrespectful treatment of one of the sport's greatest attractions.
Wow. Well, my reaction to that, and this is going to probably be crazy to a lot of people listening, but why is the UFC not giving Jon the respect he deserves financially? That's crazy to me. If anyone should be getting paid a lot in this sport, it should be Jon Jones for the stuff that he's done. And that's me. That's me saying that.
Yeah.
After the history that I've had with Jon Jones.
Are you still not giving it to him?
Well, they offered him $30 million to fight me, so why have they not offered it again? I don't understand.
And you're probably a $25 million fighter.
I would hope so. But those guys who we're talking about, Conor McGregor and Jon Jones and guys like that, like they bring in those are the guys who brought in the revenue for over 10 years. They need to be getting paid what they deserve, in my opinion. I think the guys need to get their money ready for my fight. If we're talking about 25 million, I think
that was my idea.
25 million, because I'm ready to get that.
Tom Aspinall also provided an encouraging medical update, confirming his eyesight has dramatically improved after his latest surgical procedure. The UFC Heavyweight champion expressed optimism about his healing process and anticipates returning to active competition during 2026.
Fight in 2026.
I hope so. I think so.
Are they giving you that indication?
They're giving me the indication that everything's going in the right direction and improving fast. So there was a time when, things were all up in the air because we had some complications with it, but everything now is moving good, and I'm feeling a lot better. So
was there a point where you thought this might be it, that you maybe never fight again?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Was that terrifying?
I just thought, what am I going to do for the rest of my life? Because you got to remember, mate, like I've been involved in martial arts since I was 8 years old. I'm about to be 33 next month without being able to do any kind of martial arts. No, I'm not even talking about competing. Like at some points they were talking about potentially me not being able to train martial arts. So, but that's all in the past, mate. So I am out the little dark patch, and we're moving towards the light. So I'm absolutely buzzing.
Jon Jones has officially tired of the back and forth between himself and UFC CEO Dana White. The former two-division title holder publicly requested his contract release through an extensive social media statement Monday, responding to White's dismissive remarks about Jones' absence from the UFC's White House event scheduled for June 14th. He posted, "Hey everyone, I wanted to address Dana White's comments from this past weekend because the truth matters to me and the fans. Dana, you were heated about why I'm not on the White House card, but let's clear something up. Dana and I were actually negotiating with the UFC for that fight. Real negotiations. I even came down from my original number, and what was I offered in return? I was lowballed. Yes, I have arthritis in my hip and it's painful, but that doesn't mean I can't fight. So let me get this straight. If I had accepted a lowball offer, suddenly my hip would be fine and I'd be on the White House card. That doesn't make sense. I even received stem cell treatment last week to get ready for the White House card, and training camp was scheduled to start today. I was preparing to be ready. I understand business deals fall through sometimes, but going out publicly and saying things that aren't true isn't right. After everything I've given to the UFC, the years, the title defenses, the fights, hearing that I'm done is disappointing, especially when as recently as Friday, UFC was calling me trying to get me on that White House card for a much lower number. If the UFC truly feels like I'm done, then I respectfully ask to be released from my contract today. No more spins, no more games. Thank you to the real fans who know what's up. Bones out." Here are the week's top 3 internet memes. The third place meme came from No Context Ariel Helwani.
Number 2 meme was posted by Robert.
The champion meme was shared by Cage Culture.